So, we got to start descending.
To the west, straight in for runway 10.
There you
More
go.
flaps?
Well, let's start descending. So I'm just going to put a little nose down trim in, just like one notch of that. And yeah, you can add some more flaps right now if you want. Let's go ahead and turn base. Flying to be traffic, Skyhawk 62862, right base 1. There you go. And this descent rate is starting to get faster. You can feel the speed picking up and you can hear it. So let's keep the turn coming, because we're not turned all the way to base.
So
and now your nose is coming up, so hold it right there.
4 miles to the west.
I'm just going to stay on here with you now, because I want to hold this 250 feet per minute as close as we can. We'll hold the flaps out until we turn final, because we're going to have a long final here. So just keep that pitch right there. It's still 250, 300. We're going to turn final. And don't let it pitch up. Keep it pitched down. So if you find out we're getting too low, we'll just add some power. Yeah. We're not going to change our pitch, so okay. Go ahead and add the rest of the flaps. And we're just a little bit high right now. And at night, see those 3 green runway threshold, or 4 green runway threshold lights?
Yeah.
If you can't see those, that means there's a tree in your way. So we're a little high. Watch what happens if we go down to the red light. We go down to where the red light is. I'm going to come back up a little bit. When we get down to the red light,
there it is.
There, now, you can still see him, but there's a tree in the way.
Oh, yeah.
There's a tree between us and the runway. So let's just stay a little bit high. Don't take the power out yet, though. We got full flaps, and we know we're not going to hit that tree now, but as it gets darker, that tree will not be so obvious. Now, we're going to clear the tree by 30, 40 feet there. Now we can start working the power back. I'm going to put the nose down a little because we want to use the whole runway here. And now I'm putting in a little bit of right rudder. Stay on this. And this is where I want to feel where the back pressure begins. So it's right about here. I'm already feeling. Don't pull it up, though. Now we're just going to hold it and pull the power all the way out. That's it right there. Let's go. I'm going to give you the plane back as soon as we get to 55. So ready? There's your plane. Nice, easy rotation. So we just want to come down, transition to level flight above the runway, and then just raise the nose a degree or two, assuming we're not going to crash into the runway, because if we are, we're going to add some power. But if we have a stabilized descent at somewhere around 250, 300 feet per minute, we're not going to crash into the runway. We're going to descend very nicely. But we might do another one of those where I let you do the... You'll work the yoke, and I'll just hang on to the throttle.
Okay.
And that way you can focus on one thing, and I won't let you. That way, if we need a little power, I'm going to add a little, and then maybe we can switch roles next time. And then we'll roll it all together, and you can do the whole thing again. Okay. Watch your ball there, because I feel just a little skid when we did that, and now our nose is up just a little high. There you go. I'm going to let you have the throttle till we get back to the final. This looks pretty good. That was a little bit more than 90 degrees, but we're still okay as long as you get your downwind going. I'll just blow this up a little bit so you can see where we are. Is that light bothering you, or?
No.
Okay. I might dim my iPad even more because it's amazing how bright that is. Okay, there's 1,000 feet. Good. You leveled off.
Turn,
you can turn downwind whenever you're ready because we're out over the outside edge. There you go.
South Jersey traffic, Penn Star 6 moving off the ramp to the active 08 for departure South Jersey.
This is where we have to make sure we don't turn back too far into the airport and cut our base leg off. So it's already happened there. You see we're making a triangle instead of a rectangle there.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do from this side.
Oh yeah. I'm not suggesting it's easy. I'm just suggesting if you continue and make that base 0, you're going to have a really hard time landing. Because that happens pretty often.
To the south and down. Lakewood traffic.
Yeah, Yeah, it's very hard from over here on your side.
Base runway 4, call back.
I hope you appreciate it's easier on that side, on the left side though. Okay, so we're in the white arc significantly. You got 1 notch flaps in. We should start our descent.
2,400 over. Then MJX is reporting you.
South Jersey, Penn Star 6, taking the active now for a 08 departure. Left cross.
Let's make sure we keep that right there. That's about 300 feet per minute.
Alright.
There you go, that looks good.
My base?
Yep, you can turn base.
Traffic, Warrior, Timberlake, 06.
And it's really hard to get in your head like that. We want to keep going down. But we are trying to land this plane.
Over the water.
And just 1 or 2 degrees pitching up is going to ruin your pattern. So you'll get that sight picture in your head.
Departure is 4 to the southwest.
So you can drop some more flaps. We're 73 knots right now. That looks good. And the final is going to come up quick. So the nose popped up because of the flap. So just push it right back down. It's right there. Is the sight picture. Add just a touch of power. Just a touch. There you go. And you can start turning final.
I just put the last.
That's fine. There's no problem with what you got going on here. Just keep that nose down because we're getting really slow there. Down a little more. We're a little high right now. We're at 700 feet and we're probably less than a mile, 3/4 of a mile from the runway. So we have to, if we have any hope of landing there, we just put the nose down. This plane will not start going much faster than we're going now with this much flaps in. You can point this thing almost, 45 degrees down. We're not going to go any faster. So you can see we're still at like 75. You can take just a touch of power out, and our descent rate right now is 500 feet. So we want to make sure that we don't try to touch down at 500 feet. We want to have a much smoother, shallower angle when we get to the runway. But there's nothing the matter with what we're doing right now. We're trying to clear these trees, which we've now done. You can take all the power out right now because we can see that we're clear. Now, you can see we just blew through the glide path, so we can lift the nose a little bit and a little bit of right rudder. We want to continue the descent and get just a touch of a bounce there, but nothing crazy. Carb heat's off, and we'll go full power. And back on the center line the best we can here. And your plane, rotate. And just be careful of the trees because it's getting dark and they're harder to see. Okay, flaps up. Carb heat off. Mixture full rich. Full throttle. I think we're trim set right. And we're fuel on both. Your plane.
I control.
Okay. So there's a lot of stuff you can do to fix problems on final. The one we don't want to try and fix is if you've completely overshot the base of the final turn. Just do a go around. Don't kill yourself trying to make that. Not worth it. You get an extra pattern in without one landing. It's no big deal. Today the wind isn't blowing us any particular which way, so that's not really a problem. But if you were out here and the wind was coming from that direction, we might be getting blown over the final approach course and having difficulties. So there's the 2 silos, so you can probably level off right here, right about where that police car is out there. Nope, let's just level off right there. That's going to be your 90 degrees to the runway. That looks perfect. And now just hold this and continue your climb. It's going to be a lot harder to judge where your downwind is now. 5 minutes from now, it's going to be almost impossible. 10 minutes from now. This looks good though. There you go. Now you're starting to anticipate the 1,000 feet, which is what you want to do. When you do your instrument training, you're going to be learning how to anticipate. So we got to turn downwind now. You're going to be learning how to anticipate so that you don't blow through your assigned altitudes.
Lincoln Park traffic, you got a yellow and red 182 at 2,000 feet, 7 miles to the west inbound.
So I'll just give you this visual clue when we get over here. We're about 45 degrees to our 90 degree turn, and now we're probably 30 degrees from being parallel with the runway. Now we're parallel right there, so you can level off. Look out there. We're a little bit wide this time.
Yeah, it seems like it.
We're a little wide. That's because we flew a pretty long crosswind there climbing. Watch your altitude. But there's nothing wrong with this. This is not going to be a problem.
That's why a lot of times I'll land 1-9 just because I know they're down there at the south end.
This is all good. You got a pretty decent base up here. That distance right there looks good.
45 for runway 06, pushing out.
You just don't want that line over here, and then your base turns to 0, and then you overshoot automatically. Yeah, it's pretty hazy out here tonight. Not a beautiful night, but nothing to matter with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to be descending for sure, right? So let's get that 250 to 300 foot per minute descent rate going, and we're probably a little high, so let's not turn for about another 3 or 4 seconds. You can probably start your turn now. We're about out to the wah-wah, and your nose just came up, so push it back down. There you go. I'm trying not to get on the controls. I'm just going to talk you through it. This will be a little more interesting because you may or may not have runway lights on when we get over there, so you can practice turning them on final again. I
Look at our traffic.
don't know.
Yellow and red says
Put nose down.
1,900, 3
Just
miles.
keep an
to the
eye on
west.
this.
Midfield crosswind
Just
for
to kind of
19.
verify, you can go ahead and add some more flaps. You want to just verify that you're always descending toward the runway in the pattern, unless there's some reason not to, like you're already too low. But you're actually gonna be just a tad high when we turn, so we'll fix that.
Left base runway 06.
This feels really good. You can probably put the rest of the flaps in right now. You're in the white arc, and you're going to be a little high, so we don't want to be